I'm just going to walk through how to answer the questions for your character and conflict brainstorming sheet, much like we did for your setting brainstorming sheet. This sheet, completed filled out, is due on Teams by 9 p.m. tonight, and that's your asynchronous work for today. So, first question I want you to think about is who this is the protagonist or hero of your story. You can go through and fill out name, age, gender, job, or maybe if they're a kid, they don't have a job or a student. Status in society, so are they like low status? Are they like lower class, poor? Are they high status? They're like a leader in the society somehow because of their wealth or because of their government position. Physical description, relationships to other characters can help you start to begin brainstorming other characters in your story. And then it always helps me to visualize. So if it helps you to visualize, you can find a picture of an actor or actress that you could see playing your protagonist, like casting them in that role. We're going to think about, is your protagonist an insider or outsider in this society? So insider would be somebody who is originally or at the beginning of the story living well in your dystopian society. They don't see any problems with it. It seems normal to them, and maybe they're even benefiting from it. So this could be like the woman that we watched in the Black Mirror episode where she's like rating people on her phone, and because it's so normal to her, she doesn't really see what the problem is, especially if she's getting a high rating. An outsider would be somebody who already sees the flaws or problems in the society, or who doesn't fit in, or who is like kind of on the edge of the society. So that could be like the Chris Evans character in Snowpiercer, the trailer that we watched. What motivates your protagonist? What do they want in life? So every character is driven by something. You could try filling in the blank. The protagonist wants blank. What are they trying to do? What is their goal? What is driving them forward in the story? What happens to your protagonist at the end of the story? This is also going to help you begin thinking about the conflict that your protagonist faces. So then for question 5, I'm going to ask you to think about the conflict that your protagonist faces. So remember, most dystopian stories are involving a person versus society conflict because the story is about the problems in the dystopian society. So we're seeing the problems that that causes for your main character. However, you might also see like an internal conflict, person versus self, something that they are struggling with. You know, how do I fit into the society if I think that it's wrong? Or should I try to rebel against the society and risk my life, or should I not rebel and stay safe? Next, I'm going to ask you to describe the conflict that your protagonist faces. So another way to think about it is, what is the problem for this person? And what does the protagonist do about the conflict? And this is going to help you start brainstorming the plot of your story or what actually happens in it. Is the conflict resolved by the end of the story or not? Explain how. Well, a lot of times we like stories where the conflict is resolved. That doesn't always happen. And it certainly doesn't always happen in dystopian stories. And lastly, for the conflict, what do you, as the creator of this story, want your audience to learn from this character and their conflict? What do you want your audience to take away from what they read about happening to this character and how they resolve or don't resolve the conflict? That's going to lead you into thinking about your theme or warning or question. So thinking about what you wrote for your response on the previous question for number 9, I'm going to ask you to write a theme or warning or question for what you want your audience to take away from your story. And this is just like that last box of the exit ticket that you did for the stories that we read. There are some sentence starters that can help you out there. So this is just a quick overview of what we're asking you to fill in. Enjoy, have fun being creative and brainstorming and thinking out all of your awesome ideas. We're really excited to see what you come up with.